Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning. Here we are again. So I want to take a break in our mindfulness resiliency series and instead focus on a different kind of mindfulness today. Sue and I wanted to bring you a message that we have been hearing from our friends, ex-employees, and family members that are working in the front lines of healthcare right now, as many of you are. And that's that, all of us need to adopt a different kind of mindfulness and a different mindset. And that mindset is a pandemic mindset. For many of your employees, they have, all of us really in our lifetime, we have only read about pandemics globally or in our country itself. It's something that's completely new to us, and it takes a new mindset. So we thought this week in particular, when all of you are ready, right? You've been working so hard to prepare your employees, prepare your organization, prepare your individual departments for the readiness that we all need for what's coming, for surge capacity, for mitigation of what's going on in our country right now. So now that you're ready, it's like kind of a hurry up and wait sort of thing. What we're hearing from our partner organizations and from our friends on the front line, friends and family members on the front line, is that what now? Now we're tired and we're frightened. And your employees are frightened. They're frightened that they're going to take this horrible illness home to their elderly parents, to another family member, to their furry friends, to their children, that they could be the vector, they could be the carrier through just having to go to work every single day, right? Just having to go to work every single day. So kind of the mindset that we need to take as leaders, and the mindset that you need to teach your employees, is one of a valuable lesson that we can learn from our EMS and fire providers, police officers, those people that put themselves in danger literally every single day. So first, let's look at a typical mindset of a nurse, right? Very empathetic, very compassionate, very, I have to do whatever I can to save my patients. That, they get upset when they feel as though they haven't done enough. It reminds me of a time that, a couple of different stories from my life as an emergency department leader. The first one was when I was still a staff nurse, night shift. We got a trauma victim, and it was the middle of the night, and this elderly gentleman, for whatever reason, decided to take a walk in dark clothing on a dark street, and he was hit by a car. A large truck, actually. And so it happened that our paramedics, again, for whatever reason, our local city paramedics were out on a food run, whatever they were doing, maybe returning from a transfer, but they happened to be nearby. And when the call came in from police officers, they were on the scene literally within 1 or 2 minutes, got them to us. And Linda was my partner that night. And Linda and I did trauma resuscitation, worked hard. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. He was our only patient. We got him into the CAT scanner. We were both in the CAT scanner with him when he just simply extenuated and just died right in front of us. And for the rest of the night, Linda was really, really upset about that. She kept wanting to go over it again. Like, what did we do wrong? What could we have done differently? And of course, the physician had gone back to bed already. And so, I had to say to her, I said, you know what, Linda, I think that the paramedics just got there too soon. I think that he was always going to be a fatality, that, he was not a trauma resuscitation, that he was always going to die, that the boys just happened to be there at the right time or the wrong time at the right place, right? Same thing happened when we got a call in the ED from our local airport that there was a plane whose landing gear was not going down into place. And so they were calling all emergency providers, including our emergency room physician and two of my nurses, to go to the airport and be ready for a crash landing and what would happen. And, the emergency room physician, thankfully, was trauma certified, and also from the fine city of Detroit, who happened to be visiting our little town and picking up some extra shifts. And I'll never forget how he counseled my nurses that day and said, okay, I know how you nurses are. I know how all people who work in healthcare are. You're going to want to save everyone, but everyone cannot be saved. And a large-scale trauma mindset is essentially the same as a pandemic mindset. And I'm not advising you that you make your nurses indifferent or your frontline caregivers indifferent, respiratory therapy indifferent. Nope, what I'm advising is care of self first. That, what our people on the front lines, our police, EMS, and fire providers learn, the very first thing they learn on EMS 101 is safe scene. That at all times when they are entering a scene, getting out of an ambulance, getting out of their fire truck, getting out of the police car, that they assess the scene to make sure that it's safe first. That they repeat that mantra. Am I going into a safe situation? And the second thing they do is they don the appropriate isolation gear to protect themselves in all cases, right? So as a leader of, if you yourself are still working on the front line, and I see my friend Amy Lynn has joined, and Tammy Chambers, David, if you are remaining going into patient rooms at this time, maybe rounding on patients, whatever it is that you're doing, what we are to project as leaders right now is a sense of calm, reassurance. We have a plan. It's a great plan. We are ready. Or maybe we have to do these 3 things and then we will be ready. But we have a plan to do the 3 things. I know that all of you do. We interact with organizations every day that tell us how ready they are. However, then your next role as a leader is to counsel your staff on care of self first, to make sure that they're appropriately donning PPE, that they're making sure in every situation that they are safe first. My daughter is a registered nurse, and what caused Sue and I to have this conversation was Chelsea telling me a story last week of a patient who was choking, who was in rule out COVID room, respiratory isolation. And, she needed to don, to yell, A, scream for help, that wasn't coming, and B, to, reassure this man that she was coming. She just had to put on, all of this stuff first. And you need to tell your people that it's okay, that we are in a different mindset. Pandemic mindset is different mindset. It's not indifferent. We still need empathy and compassion, but your people have to have empathy and compassion for themselves first. Self-care is not self-indulgence. It's not the same. A pandemic mindset is not an indifferent mindset. The pandemic mindset is, I can't help others if I don't take care of myself first. And there are literally thousands who need my help. I need to be there in some point for every single one of them. So how will I do this? Okay, how will I do this? So to me, that's the best part. That's the most important message of mindfulness today. So if you, I purposefully set this at the beginning of the day. So every leader listening to this, every frontline caregiver listening to this, demonstrate for your people that they are first to you, and that their care of themselves is first to you. And everybody you interact with today needs to take care of themselves first, team second, and the patients will just naturally happen. Thank you. Have a great day.